How many of you have heard of Hebb's law? Hebb's law, summarized in science, neuroscience, or psychology, talks about neurons that fire together, wire together. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Now, why is that even important? I'm going to share that with you today because it can really impact the results you get in your life. For those who you haven't met before, my name is Sean, all the way from the beautiful winelands of South Africa, ex-pharmacist, twin speaker, coach and trainer, and founder of the New Wine coaching and mentoring. And I hope you get to lean in with us in that beautiful community of people. So, Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together, wire together. First of all, what's a neuron short? So we've got about 86 billion, they say, up to 100 billion in your brain. And they're really just, these neurons transmit information. So neuron to neuron, chemically and electrically, they transmitting information across, almost like a highway. And again, why is this important? Because what they've discovered over the last couple of decades, which they didn't know before that, was that there's a process called neuroplasticity, which means that you can rewire your brain. On my Facebook group yesterday, I posted a meme that said, rewiring the brain is all about consistency. Consistency is the key to rewiring your brain. That's in the science side. I talk to the science and to the spirit. And on the faith side, it's like renewing your mind. So how do we renew our minds? How do we rewire our brain? Well, we create new neural pathways. I like to walk every morning. I'm out on my walk at the moment, in the beautiful winelands. But I go on a particular pathway, and that pathway has been broken up, and there's a bit of a diversion, a detour, because they're busy laying down new pipes. And so we're now walking along the side of our estate, and it's grass. And I noticed that over the last few weeks, in the beginning, there wasn't a footprint on that grass. It was beautiful, green, luscious grass. Now, as we walk in every single day, of course, it's been worn out. There's a new pathway being formed. And similarly in your brain, neurons that fire together, wire together, the more you think in a particular way and focus on it consistently over time, the more it forms a new neural pathway. Now, there's pros and cons to this, of course. If you're battling with anxiety, it's because you're thinking in a particular way repetitively every single day and consistently over time is leading to certain symptoms, to certain actions, to certain behaviors, and of course to certain results. So if you want to change the results, you want to change the thinking that causes that, you also want to obviously deal with the underlying paradigms, and we talk about that in the New Wine community. But effectively, you need to be consistent in changing the neurons that fire together in a particular way. Are you repetitively and consistently thinking negatively, for instance, about a person, a situation, a possibility, or not a possibility? What if this happens? What if this happens? And every day you wake up, what if this happens? What if that happens? And then you find yourself displaying the symptoms, the actions, behaviors, and results of that particular thing, because that neural pathway has been forged in your brain. So it's time, my friends, to rewire your brain, renew your mind. It doesn't happen overnight. And as I said, this is part of what we share. In fact, a large part of what we share. I find that a lot of people put science and spirit into different silos. I see it as a dance, a beautiful dance, and God's leading the dance. It's my faith. It's foundational to who I am and what I'm about. But I also love the science. Being a pharmacist by background, I love the science. I love how the science explains the rewiring of the brain, and the spirit explains the renewing of the mind. It works together beautifully and gives us hope. We can change. We can change. You're not stuck. So, my friends, I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope you lean into the New Wine community. It's very different, very unique. Taking science and spirit and blending it together in a personal growth and development journey. So if this video has encouraged you and you'd like to know more about the New Wine coaching and mentoring community, then just drop me a New Wine in the comments below, or send me a DM or an email, and I'll send you more details on that. As I say, it's very unique. I'm all about helping my clients live a life that they truly, truly love. And you only really live a life that you truly, truly love when you live in life from the inside out, not from the outside in. And the way we create that, new neural pathways. Hebb's law. Back to then. Until later, Sean.